It's a few months later. I've been busy working on a rail sailboat, an SR Max that had some problems. So it's time to get back to work. And so I've cleaned up the models, I've cut out all the parts, and the first piece we're going to put is the deck house at the back here. I've cleaned up all the pieces, including those that I made copying from the original master plan. We're going to soak part of them in a little bowl of water, using CA to stick the various pieces together. And I will use some intermediate supports to make sure that the construction is quite strong. The two main tools I'm going to use to bend the roof are this monocoat iron, which I found really a fantastic tool. It has a high and a low, and having bent it and clamped it, I then use a commercial dryer, which is also used to apply monocoat, and it really gives you an even heat throughout the piece and gives you a much better fit. We're all clamped up. We actually use the tight bond, which allows us working time to move it around. And then once everything was in place, I just put a few dashes of CA to lock everything in place. All done, and we'll clean them up, and then we'll trial fit them. Before going on to the little deck house, we thought we'd look at the Skylight. And here she is. And I was really not too happy with how the contrasting colors of the various woods between the trim and the side of the part. If you look at the butt joint here, you can see the grain, and that's really unacceptable. So the solution to that is to clad the outside, perhaps with some of the stock that we already have. It's very thin stock, which will make that all disappear. It's also an excellent time to look at perhaps some of the old paintings and some of the internet plans that will show a difference from the kit. So we're going to just look at 3 quick shots and then make a decision. This particular painting shows some of the deck houses and clearly shows that they were made up of planking that was probably the same type of wood as that used on the top rail. This particular one is the replica. So here is that refurbished one. Really came out nice, and these edges are clean and you don't see the plywood join. So we do the same thing on the other one. We've done the ends, and now we're going to do the sides. And here we are, all complete. You can see those miter joins on the molding really came out fantastic. This sliding table here is worth its weight in gold. So that's absolutely beautiful. So now we'll just sit down and make the skylight roof. The measurement of the skylight is 35.7 millimeters. So we just need to add 2 millimeters on either side, which will take us to 39.7. And then the intermediate pieces will be butt joints. The inside dimension is 9.1 millimeters. We've completed the roof of the skylight, and now we're going to simulate the bars on the skylight glass. And the way they suggest to do that is to create a series of 2 millimeter lines across the plastic supplied with the kit. So to do that, I took this ruler, which is a fabulous little ruler. I can't remember where I got it, probably Micromart, which has little holes in it at different spacings. And I put the dots down on both sides and drew out these lines. And we're simply going to clamp the plastic onto the sheet, and we'll, with the back of a utility knife, score the lines on the plastic. Then they are suggesting that you run a little paint into these lines that will darken them, and you'll end up with a sheet that looks like this. And as you can see, that's turned out to be pretty good. I wasn't necessarily 100% happy with that, so I tried a different way, and that is taking some of these very small dowels that I'd made and cutting them to fit inside the frame, sticking them with CA, and the result of that was I developed this one. And the idea is that I'm going to take a piece of plastic and put it behind that, so that I'll get nice clean lines. So we'll do one of each and decide which one looks the best. In both cases, I plan to paint the inside black so that you don't see the continuation of the floorboards. We've stuck it with PVA glue, and the actual dimensions are taken off the plan, and then we're painting the inside black, as we said early on, so that you don't see the floorboards. We'll continue the rest of the deck fittings in the next video, as we're trying to keep these videos down to 10 to 12 minutes. So see you then.